Hello everyone, it's time to learn the new vocabulary again. So we are going to take a look at the unit 4 of our vocabulary book, okay? And the topic is the beauty of Norway. Before traveling to Norway, all I had heard about this high latitude country was its abundance of natural resources, how extremely difficult it was to travel there on a budget, and of course, Viking folklore. It wasn't until I broadened my horizons by visiting Norway that I realized there's much more to tell about this country. Okay, so the first paragraph, the writer tried to tell us something about Norway, and he said before traveling Norway, that means before he went there, all I heard about this high latitude country was its abundance of natural resources. So we are going to make a drill to help you learn the vocabulary. So this is our Earth. Okay, Earth. If you try to make a line, draw a line from left to right, from west to east, okay, like this, then it's called latitude. Okay, latitude. All right, so a country in a high latitude, it will be colder. Okay, it will be colder, right? And if we make a line from north to south, okay, from up to the bottom like this, then this is called longitude. Longitude. Okay, in Chinese, this is 经度, and this is 纬度. Alright, so try to make a draw. You can try to make a draw like this to help you learn the vocabulary better. Okay, instead of just memorizing the Chinese meaning. Sometimes it's very difficult. And of course, if you want to learn the spelling better, you need to read the word again and again. So for example, repeat after me, latitude. Again, latitude. Again, latitude. Again, latitude. Okay, try to draw a line below the words to help you memorize the sound and the spelling better. And this, longitude. Again, longitude. Again, longitude. All right, so this is a way how we learn vocabulary in a more effective way or efficient way. We spend less time, but we try to learn better. Alright, so let's go back to the sentence. All I heard about this high latitude country was, okay, so there's something the writer heard about Norway before he or she visited Norway. So the first thing is its abundance of natural resources. Abundance. Abundance, it means a lot of. Okay, a lot of. So that means in Norway, it has or there are a lot of natural resources like the hot spring, okay, or maybe oil or gas, okay, things like that. And the second thing is how extremely difficult it was to travel there on a budget. Okay, here on a budget. Okay, budget is a very important word in this unit. Budget, budget. Budget. It means how much money you can use, how much money you can spend. Okay, budget. Again, try to read it until you memorize it. Memorize the word sound or maybe memorize the spelling. Okay, budget. And we use on a budget. That means how can we spend the money as we expect. Okay, if we have $100, and we spend $90, that means we are on the budget. Okay, but if we spend over $100, that means we are over our budget. Okay, and you can of course there is another important idioms about budget, like if we don't have much money for something, we will say we are on a tight, or maybe we are on a serious budget. On a tight or serious budget. Okay, that means we don't have much money for it. So, for example, I'm going to buy a new smartphone. Okay, I'm going to buy a new smartphone, and I want to see if I can buy a new iPhone. So I check the price, I check how much money it is, and then I realize, wow, that's very expensive. I don't have so much money for the new iPhone, so I will say I'm on a tight budget, or the new iPhone is not on my budget. Okay, so this is the important part about budget. All right, and of course the third thing the writer learned about Norway before he or she visited there was Viking folklore. Okay, Viking folklore, 维京人的文化和传说. Alright, it wasn't until I broadened my horizons by visiting Norway that I realized there's much more to tell about this country. So this sentence, we are going to learn it in our textbook. It wasn't until 直到何时 that 才怎么样直到何时才怎么样 Okay, so here you need to pay attention to the idiom here. Broaden my horizons. This is very important. Broaden one's horizons. So this is horizons. 水平线 Okay, 水平线 It means how wide your world is. 你的人生你的世界有多广 So if you go traveling, if you do something that you have never experienced, then you are trying to broaden your horizons. Broaden your horizons. Okay, so be sure to remember the idiom. Okay, 所以这个作者意思说，直到他真的去了这个国家，去了挪威，他才知道挪威才不止这样子而已。Okay, so next paragraph. One thing that isn't to be missed is the popular sightseeing trip Norway in a nutshell. This tour, which can be arranged online, lets travelers take in magnificent sights. Ferrying England along the fjords, visitors will be amazed by the steep or awe-inspiring cliffs cut out by glaciers. Green trees grow on the sides of mountains capped with some white snow, where flowing waterfalls can sometimes be spotted. The boats pass by several small rural villages and farms located on the banks, showing what civilization is like in this isolated, heavenly world. In a nutshell, the tour will make you see why visiting Norway is worth the expense. Okay, so here we can talk about the sentence starter here. One thing that isn't to be missed is blah blah blah. Okay, one thing that isn't to be missed is da da da. You can use this sentence to introduce a special food or special places that visitors have to try in a foreign country. So for example, if you want to introduce the special part about Taiwan, you can say one thing that isn't to be missed is in Taiwan is to try stinky tofu. Right? 臭豆腐 OK, 这个经验一定是在台湾要有的 Or one thing that isn't to be missed is to visit Taipei 101 or the National Palace Museum 或者是故宫博物院 Okay, so you can use the sentence to make a lot of use this pattern to make a lot of more sentences to introduce some special experience about a place. Alright, so here 在这边他讲的是说你对这个观光的旅游完全有一个完全不可以错过的就是 Norway in a nutshell. Okay, so here in a nutshell, here in a nutshell. Okay, we can find two in a nutshell in this passage. 那 in a nutshell 是什么呢？就是简而言之。 So we usually use the idiom in the end of a passage. In the end of the passage. Because when this idioms comes up, it means that we are going to say goodbye. We are going to make a conclusion. Okay? So in a nutshell, 简而言之, in short, or maybe in a word. Okay, so it means that I'm going to end the paragraph. Okay, 那他把它用在这个旅游的名称叫做 Norway in a nutshell， 意思应该是说怎么样他会帮你规划一个行程，然后让你在最短的时间之内看到最多这个有关挪威的精彩，所以它才叫做 Norway in a nutshell. Okay, this tour, which can be arranged online, so that means you can book the tour online. Let travelers take in. Okay, here, take in. This is very important, right? So we actually have 3 meanings about take in. So number 1 is about watch. 就跟这个句子一样 to enjoy a view. Okay, enjoy the view. Or number 2, it can mean understand. Take in. 你有没有学会？你有没有听懂？你有没有吸收？ And number 3, it means lie. 去欺骗说谎 Okay, so you can try to have more details about how to use take in the vocabulary book. Alright, ferrying island along the fjords, visitors will be amazed by blah blah blah. So here, ferrying, alright, ferrying. It can be used as a noun. 如果它被拿来当名词用，就是指渡轮、渡船，在两地之间来来回回的渡船。所以比如说巴黎那边就会有渡船，淡水跟巴黎有渡船 ferry. But ferry can be also used a verb. Okay, if you use the boat to travel between 2 places, to and from the 2 places, then you can say you ferry. Okay, you are ferrying. Okay, use it as a verb to mean that you take a boat to move between the 2 places. Okay, ferrying inland, that means you take the ferry inside the land, 就在这个内陆之间，所以可见它是一个很破碎的小岛，所以岛跟岛之间的移动大部分都是要靠这个渡轮啊齁。好，那在这个along the fjord 就是峡湾哦。Visitors will be amazed by the steep awe-inspiring cliffs. 那这些观光客一定会被这个很陡峭的，非常陡峭的 and also awe-inspiring. Okay, awe-inspiring. We are going to talk more about this word. Awe-inspiring. Awe 本来这个字就是又尊敬又害怕的样子，那 awe-inspiring 就是你看到这个景色，你就会有那种对老天爷、对造物者、造景者的崇敬跟崇拜，那个叫 awe-inspiring。那可以用到这种等级的形容词来形容一个景色，那个景色已经非常厉害。Or you also can say very magnificent. Okay, very magnificent view. Or you can say breathtaking. 如果用到这个形容词，表示那个景色好美哦，美到就是让你完全忘记呼吸了一下，把你呼吸都带走了。所以以上这3个形容词其实都是可以等同我们中文讲的叹为观止。Okay, and of course, if you want to have a very good writing skills, if you want to write a very good passage, you need to learn the words now. Okay, use these fancy adjectives. 用这些很棒的形容词，然后来点缀你的写作。Okay, so let's go back. The cliff cut out by glaciers. Okay, so we know 在这种国家，北欧国家很多地形都是用冰河，被冰河 glaciers 所切割出来的。Okay, green trees grow on the sides of mountains capped with white snow. 那绿色的树呢，会长在这个山的边边 ，capped 就好像是戴上的那个鸭舌帽一样 ，capped with 覆盖上的这些白雪 ，where OK where 这个是个文法词哦 ，means in which 在这个地方，或者是你可以等于 and in the place。在这个地方呢 ，flowing waterfalls can sometimes be spotted, be seen. That means people can see the flowing waterfalls. Okay, the boats pass by several small rural villages and the farms located on the banks, showing what civilization is like in this isolated heavenly world. OK， 如果搭着船，然后经过了好几个小型的这个 rural，OK，rural villages，rural is an adjective. It means it's like country. OK， 像乡村一样。And the opposite word is urban. Urban, it means it looks like a city. Okay, so if you go to Taitung or Hualien, you can see a lot of rural scenes, rural views, or rural villages. Okay, 很多乡村的景色。But if you go to Taipei downtown, 你去台北的市区 you will definitely see the urban scene. Okay, 非常市区，非常城市，非常都市化的景色。Okay, so that's the difference between the two words. You need to learn the words with different meanings together. Okay, urban and rural, rural and urban. Alright, and villages and farms located on the banks. Okay, banks. When we see the word banks, we always think of it's a place about money. People put their money in the bank, and when they need it, they take it out. Okay, that's bank. But here, this is not about the bank we think. Okay, it's not a bank about money. So this is a river. This is a river, and the land around the river is called bank. So in Chinese we say 河边 or 河畔. 河边 or 河畔 banks. Okay, so here farms located on the banks showing what civilization is like in this isolated heavenly world. 它可以展示出来到底在这个与世隔绝的 isolated 与世隔绝的 heavenly 像天堂一般的世界，这些文明到底是长得什么样子，看起来像什么。Okay, civilization. We know civilization has a lot to do with humans. Okay, humans do a lot of things to create civilizations. 我们有很多的文明，不同的人创造出不同的文明。OK， 好，那再来呢，这边的 heavenly 这个字，我们要跟大家讲的一件事情就是 ，you see there is a ly, right? So you may think this word is an adverb, but no, actually it's an adjective. Okay, why? In English, if you put ly after a noun, sometimes it can be an adjective. Okay, so for example, friend. You know the word friend, right? Friend. And if you put ly, it becomes friendly. And we know friendly is a word to mean kind. Right? Friendly, kind. Okay? Or if you can use like week. Okay, week. From Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, the 7 days in a week. That's a week, okay? And if you put ly, it becomes weekly. It's an adjective. It means something happens every week. Alright, so try to know the word heavenly is not an adverb, it's an adjective. 它不是副词，它其实是形容词。英文里面有时候是名词后面加 ly 就会变成是一个形容词了。Okay, in a nutshell, in the end, so that means whenever you see the phrases here, 如果你看到了一个字，这个 in a nutshell 的时候，就表示怎么样？这个文章即将结束了哈。好，简单的来说 ，the tour will make you see why visiting Norway is worth the expense， 是值得这样的花费的。is worth expense 有其他的字，比如说 spending 啊，花费啊，或者是 cost。Okay, so it's always very expensive to visit the countries in North Europe. Okay, but the views are very worth it. 好，可是这个景色，那边的景色，还有各式各样的经验呢，绝对让你值回票价。Okay, so that's all for Unit 4. Alright, hope you can prepare well and have a great test. Okay, see you next time.